Hi everybody, I'm Bill Sanders and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. Today what I want to do is to sort of a dream sequence almost, is that what watches would I get if I won the lottery? I mean one of those big $100 million lotteries. I could get just about any watch I wanted. And so I thought I'll make a list, 5 or 6 watches. Boy, it went on. Anyway, just in case, it's never too early to plan what watches you want to get. So these are the ones that I came up with, and they're far more than I realized. One of the ones I've always liked is a Vacheron Constantin. Meters are the tribute to great explorers. This one is to Pedro Alvares Cabral. And what it is, it's in certain respects, it's a very simple watch, but it's very clever. The enameling and everything else on it is really beautiful. But what they have is that there's you see the number 12 there, and it goes, different numbers come up, different hour numbers come up, and that's how you tell the time. Really an interesting, very clever watch. $121,000. There's no way I'm going to get that. Another watch I've always really liked, and this is a very simple one. It's called the Eccentricity Reserve de Marche. This is by Cyril Brevet Nadeau. He's a very young guy. He's a young French watchmaker. His stuff is just great. It's all done by hand. Start off, I always have liked a large balance wheel. And you can see this one's got a nice, great big one. And the reason I like big balance wheels is because a balance wheel, the greater the diameter, the more stable the oscillation is going to be. Once those things get going, they're not as likely to get shimmied around. 120,000 pounds. And it's just, oh yeah, another thing too, it's key wound. Another one I'd really love to have. Now this one was my choice to win the greatest watch, it was last year at the Grand Prix d'Horloge de Genève. This is the Lederer Central Impulse Chronometer. It's hand wound. By the way, too, most of these watches are hand wound. This one that we just looked at was wound by a key, was key wound. This one is, and they're also under 4 hertz. Either 1.5, 2.5 hertz, or like this one is 3 hertz, 21,600 EPH. That's something to notice. Hand wound and a lower frequency. This one's 128,000 Swiss francs. It has 2 independent gear trains, 2 remontoir égalités, central impulse escapement. It's just a really work of both, I think, horological as well as design art. I like this kind of design. It shows you what you're getting, and it's just really beautifully done. This one is by the Grönefeld brothers. It's called Grönefeld One Hertz. I don't even know if you can get a lot of these anymore. This one was 73,550 pounds. Sounds like a bargain compared to some of these other ones. This one's 1 hertz. Now, the frequency that the general timing is on 3 hertz, 21,600. But this big giant second hand they have is going around at 1 hertz. It's got an independent power reserve, and 72 hours, 2 barrels. Now the thing is, one is for the going gear train, and the other one is for the independent dead seconds. That's that big big dial in the middle is get to see the seconds, and that's where you have your 1 hertz at work. Now, this one is it's what I've always wanted, period. It's a Remontoy Egalite. It's not the one with the tourbillon. I don't want that one. I wanted this one. It's called FP Journe Chronometre Optimum. They have the price that I could find with 87,000. This was the list price. But you know, today all the prices have gone crazy, so it's hard to say what this one is. And on the back of this, in addition to having a Remontoy Egalite, they have the dead seconds on the back. And you flip it over and you can see the old jumping seconds or dead seconds that go into town on that one. 87,000. This one by Marco Lang, Zeigsit 1. It's a double-sided watch, and it's really cool. You can see the regular on the left there. You can see the regular time, and then on the right you can flip it over, and where it flipped over, so the back is showing. But on the back there's a hour, minute, and so you can read the time too. Plus, there's a great big diamond right at the top at the bridge over the balance wheel. This is just an incredible watch. 70,000 bucks. That again, that sounds like a bargain compared to some of the other ones. I don't know if he makes enough to begin to meet the demand. One of the things about just about all of these are very, very limited editions. And there's something about every one of them that beside the fact that I can't afford them, that has something special about them. And Marco Lang stuff is really beautiful. Now, another one that I like, I met Rex Heppy a few years ago, really super nice guy. And this is one that was called the Akrivia Chronometre Contemporain. His caliber is RR1, Rex Heppy, manual winding, 2.5 Hertz. This is probably, I noticed that when I was finished, I had more watches that were just time only, very simple, not even a date window, just hours, minutes, and seconds. And they tend to be my favorite. I'm wearing one now. It's got a power reserve indicator, but otherwise it's just, nice, simple watch. Here's another one, the Hajime Asaoka Tsunami. Again, 18,000 semi-oscillations per hour, 40 hours. Thing about this, you flip this thing over on the back, and you can see the finishing is, I think it's something that Philippe Dufour would approve of, if not admire. It's this work by Hajime Asaoka is just really is artwork. Now this one's listed at 25,000, 37 millimeter in steel. Another one I would really like to have. This next one is by Wiltelainen. I always say it wrong. It's called a 28SC, I think. By the way, too, a lot of these have won Grand Prix awards. Either this one, I think, won the men's award a couple of years ago. And again, it's just very simple watch. But you look at the back and look at the size of that balance wheel. Nice big balance wheel, a lot of stability in that. And of course, Kari Vutenlana does really beautiful guilloche. Now, this is one. There are so many Greubel Forsey watches that I'd like to have. I had to pick one. I'm not even sure this would. I need a lot more time to work on it. I'm not a big tourbillon fan, but it wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be a bad thing to have at least one tourbillon. And if I had one, this would be it. Now this is 750,000 Swiss francs. Good grief! What was amazing watch. 3 hertz, 60 hours, hours, minutes, and seconds, for almost $1 million, $750,000. That's okay. I won the lottery. I can get anything I want. Now, this next one has two of my favorites in it. H. Moser et Compagnie is one of my very, very favorite watchmakers on lots of levels. And the movement makers, my very favorite movement maker is Jean-Marc Lederer. And so here's a watch that has both in them. I'm not much of a chronograph fan, but if I were going to get a chronograph with a chronograph in mind, this is one I'd like to have. $43,900. They're expensive. But like I said, I just won the lottery, so I can get what I want. Now, here's what I found out is that there's no end to it. There is no end. I kept finding more and more watches I want to have. I want the A. Roger Smith. This one is Series 2. I love that. Philippe Dufour, Simplicity. I'd love to have one of those. Ludovic Bollard. I think it's called Upside Down watch. I love that watch. It's really beautiful stuff in there. Christian Klings with his escapement Mosquito. Beautiful finishing on that watch. Nice big balance wheel on it. Vincent Calabrese. I haven't seen Calabrese. I haven't seen the actual implementation on a watch for sale with a calicis on it. Calicis is, instead of a hairspring, he has this thing called the calicis, and he has a lot of good reasons why it's really a tremendous thing to have. Daniel Roth, one of his new ones. I have some of his old ones, but the new ones, again, they're all tourbillons, but they're really nice. Every member of the AHCI, I think there's, a watch. And plus there are more. There are other ones that I didn't. Antoine Prezuzio, Beat Holloman, Vianney Halder, Paul Gerber, Sven Anderson, Andreas Steller, George Daniels, Christian Vanderklaw. I have a Christian Vanderklaw. I want a pure Christian Vanderklaw. There are so many other ones that I would really like to have. Now, of course, if I had won the lottery, I'd have a lot more time to make up my mind about this. But I thought it was sort of a fun thing to do, is to go through and look at these things. And what I realized were there's so many of them. Here's what I'd like you to do in the comments section. Tell me what your favorite, if you won a lottery, what would be the first watch you'd run out and buy? Of course, there would be a first, but it wouldn't stop with me. So I'm no help. This is an opportunity to subscribe if you'd like. And until next time, this is Bill Sander for Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection.